Well, staying with India there, and however, we will talk about a broader concept of surprise and suspense, which go hand in hand in politics. The announcement of a special parliamentary session in India came as a surprise. The special session has been called for both the houses of the parliament. Both houses will hold 5 sittings from September 18th to the 22nd of September. Now, the suspense is over the agenda of the session, which has not been disclosed. The announcement of the special session has triggered a flurry of speculations. Now, what is the urgent matter in hand that the government wants to address? Or what is the special occasion that the government wants to commemorate? Or will the government use the session to announce sweeping and wide-ranging reforms?
Right, Isha, and talking about key reforms that could be introduced here, we start with the one nation, one election. In talks for long now, the government would want to hold elections for all the state assemblies and parliament together. This would save the recurrent deviation of resources into polls. In the span of the next 6 months, 5 state assembly elections are expected to be held. And in April next year, we would have had elections to the Lok Sabha as well by bringing a one nation, one election reform.
Now, the government could club these 6 elections together. Another key reform to look for in this session may be the Uniform Civil Code, a constitutional directive to the state since its inception. The Uniform Civil Code is one of the key reforms that the present government has been pushing for long. Such a legislation intends to streamline the personal and civil laws for Indians across communities.
Now, will this be done away with in the special session? That remains to be seen. There are also speculations that the Women's Reservation Bill could also be tabled. This bill proposes to reserve 33% of the seats in the lower house and the state legislative assemblies for women. Now, recently, the BJP-led state government in Madhya Pradesh had announced 35% reservation for women in government jobs.
That's right. Now, the next issue at hand could be getting some crucial pending bills approved. At least 10 such key bills are pending at the moment, including the 3 bills on the new penal and judicial code, a bill regarding the appointment and terms of service of election commissioners, a bill on data protection, and so on.
And as the political landscape of the country heats up, all eyes are now on this special session, of course, which is likely to be held in the new Parliament building, which was unveiled in May this year.
Well, we were earlier joined by Harish Bijur from Bengaluru, who is an analyst and a brand guru. Listen in.
If you really look at one nation, one tax, works beautifully. One nation, one language may never ever work. And one nation, one election is going to be a difficult one. Because when you look at this debate, which has been going on for decades, to say that the Lok Sabha election must synchronize with the state assembly elections, it's always been a debate about cost. It's about a waste of precious governance time. And it's also about the fact that, everything at the end of the day is an election, let it coincide with one another. Now, this is going to be a difficult one because if it's about cost, yes, there certainly is a case, because the first election was fought in 1951-52, I think, at something like 11 crore rupees. And the last election was possibly fought, we still don't know what the number is, but around 60 to 65,000 crores. So that's a big number. But the key point to debate is an election about cost or is an election about issues? Is an election about issues which may or may not synchronize because we're a federal system, the system where issues which are central may not necessarily be issues which are potent at the state level. So how do you coincide these two things is one of the big challenges and the